white thing. He ran all the way over here to the shade, dropped it, the wave came in, took it away. He looked around like, bingo.
Every day's a gift, right? Yes. That's the reason they call it the present. The present. Okay, the door is closed. Take a deep breath and hold your breath for the next 40 minutes. Okay, Angie is my name. Angie, and I'm your tour guide. I'm located here front. I recommend you to face this way, folks. This way. So when I tell you right side of the boat, this is this side, okay? That's your right side. And then the left is this side. Okay, when you take pictures through the windows, do not use the flash. The reason it will reflect like a mirror. Look. And there's SpongeBob.
Hi, Gary.
You see those yellow tubes? SpongeBob. Divers to the right. Way down there. Sorry, Captain upstairs, he will circle around, eh? But don't worry, be. You may stand up. If you don't have the view on one side, you may stand up to overlook to the other side. That's not a problem, folks.
It's supposed to come over to our side. To our side.
They went from Germany to the States. They delivered a complete cargo. 1939. That is the year that the German Nazis started to invade countries in Europe. So he said, no way, we're not going to go back home for now. Let's go on vacation. Let's go to one happy, beautiful island of Aruba. Say it, say it, say it. You can do it. Rolling it on. A. And Aruba's Dodge. B were still neutral until the day, May 10th, 1940. That is the day that the German Nazis invaded Holland, so it was war. Right side view now, right side. So we have the Dutch base on the island the same day. They went aboard and they supposed to take the men as prisoners of war. They did not. They gave them a chance to go back. The main reason, it was empty and commercial. But folks, he had problems. Fuel, food, and water. Who's gonna help them on the way back? Nobody, right? Instead, he put his 37 crew members to the lifeboat while they were waiting for him. He went down into the engine room and he overheated the boilers in the engine room. He pulled the plugs of the ship for the water to come in. we have traffic. We have the divers, we have the snorkelers. It's not easy for our captain to maneuver this boat, eh? Especially when it's the second day of the job, eh? By the way, he was off yesterday. His first day. He has a clean record. So far. 21 years captain of this boat. Okay, look at the view now to the right. To the right. That is the front of the shop. The bow. Bow wow. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, why are fish smart? Yes, when you have a lot of fish together, they are in a school. When you have two fish, are they in schools? Private school. Private school. What is the day that fish and chicken don't like during the week?
Friday.
Friday. They don't want to become fish fried or fried chicken. And what day is ice cream day?
Sunday.
Every day. Especially on your cruise ship, right? And Sunday you get a Sunday ice cream.
Guys, let's start. Right now we have two kinds of ostriches. The ones we see over here are the African ostriches. The black one is the male and the gray one the female. On the other side, we have the emu from Australia. Those are smaller. If they come closer, you're gonna see they have 3 toes. What happens? Tourists think if the small one has 3 toes, the big one have more toes. But look at the big ones, they only have 2. The emu lays a green egg, dark green, the color of the avocado. And the ostrich is a white egg, but bigger one. You guys see the white egg over here? That's a fake egg. To stimulate them to lay the real one, we use the fake egg. They tell me it's like a Playboy magazine for ostriches. The emu has a pointer beak and an ostrich a round one. When they open their beak, both of them no teeth. Tourists keep asking me, do they bite? Do they bite? No teeth, no biting. So the question should be, how do they defend themselves? Correct. They kick. You have to understand, ostriches are birds. They cannot fly, but they can run pretty fast. The emu can run 35 miles an hour. Yeah, the ostrich is 50 miles an hour. If you guys can run that fast, I expect you to kick pretty hard too. They kicked a colleague of us. You say they kick about a waist high. My colleague put his arm in front of his belly like this. He got kicked here. They broke this bone in 2 pieces. 4 months with cast. Then he didn't want to work here anymore. I wonder why. You see the ostriches, they lay eggs from January till August. In that 8-month period, each girl, the gray one, can lay a maximum of 80 eggs. 80. In Africa, they mate for 14 days. The girls, they lay a few eggs. The guys sit on the eggs to hatch them. People keep asking me, do the guy do that? Yes. But while the guys sit on the eggs, he will stop mating. Girls will stop laying eggs till the next year. Again, here on the island, we let them sit on the eggs. We got the same results that in Africa. We want more, so we don't let them sit on the eggs. What do? We take all the eggs out, we put them all in the incubator. And what happens? After 14 days, no eggs. So the guy keep walking there, ask himself, did I do my job or not? To be sure, let's do it again. So they keep doing it. We keep taking the eggs out. They do it, we do it, they do it, we do it, they do it, we do it. Till 80, and that's what we want. But that's also the problem. You don't get what you want every single year. There's some good years, there's some bad years. And with the COVID, we got 3 bad years in a row. We were closed, and the owner didn't know how long. He knew they have to pay us, buy food for all the animals on the farm, pay electricity and water. So the owner has to pay. But no money was coming back to us. If the owner didn't take any measures, maybe we'd be close to. So the owner, the first measure, he put everything that uses electricity out. By doing that, we know exactly how much money you have to pay extra if we put the incubator back on. And for a few eggs, we're not gonna do that. Last year, these 2, they became 30 years old. Everybody on the farm that were 30 years old didn't lay any eggs. So if this year they don't give us any eggs, we know for sure they stop mating. They don't lay eggs anymore. Then we have to understand, we have to take some measures. Yeah, the problem is we don't know what. Yeah, you see, if we slaughter them, we have to see if the money we got from all the, yeah, you don't get the nice steak anymore. So do we get enough money to, is it worth a while? If they don't, you see, next year we're gonna grab most of them, put them together. If they don't fight with each other, we're gonna teach them how to come and eat by the tourists, and then we don't slaughter them. But if you keep fighting, they're asking for it. These 2 are 31 years old. These 2 we're gonna keep, yeah? So we, in Africa, they can live up to 8 years old here because they don't have any enemies. And if they get sick of veterinary, we'll check them for us. We expect them to live more than 100 years old. I invite everybody to come back here in 69 years from now. We do the same tour, see if they're still around. Till then. Guys, on this side, you see the girl there? She misses a lot of feathers on her back. And people keep asking me, why? Is she molting? Is she sick? What's happening to her? Yeah, in the mating season, the girls, the gray ones, they pull their own small feathers. They eat them to get the calcium they need to lay the eggs.
Oh, wow.
In Africa, they will mate for 14 days. They pull a few feathers, lay a few eggs, stop, it will grow back. But here, 8-month-long mating, 8-month-long pulling the feathers out. You might have one or two with a naked behind. The problem we got on this side, look at the guy under the tree there. He misses a lot of feathers in her back. But guys, don't lay eggs. Why is the guy naked then?
She's eating his feathers.
Correct. Look at the girl. She has all her feathers. She got smart. She doesn't pull her feathers. She's pulling the guy feathers out. Yeah. On both sides, there's an egg on the floor. Those are the fake eggs I was telling you about. Yeah. It's like a Playboy magazine for ostriches. So what happens? We're in the mating season right now. The guy walk around, he see the egg, he go to the girl, honey, let's make one. Yeah, she see the egg there, she think that the other girl lay the egg there, she gonna put her egg in front of us here. So in the morning you see the real egg and the fake egg. People tell me, how do you guys get the egg out without getting kicked? You see in this bus, we're big, they're afraid of us. As soon as you step down, the guy will run and try to kick you. These animals, they're not aggressive, but they're territorial. So you go in their territory, they will kick you. Yeah? So if you walk outside, nothing happen, no problem. But as soon as you walk, they will come and see you don't mess with his girlfriend. Yeah? So how do we get the egg out? You see, we stop here with the bus, where we have, with the pickup. We put the food in the back, so we grab a bucket of feed, shaking it. The guy walks till the corner there. Dad and moms, they walk with me. So while they're distracted with me shaking the bucket, we let the new guy, the intern, go in, grab the real egg and runs out. So the chances they kick us is very slim. For the rookie, not that slim. This guy has 2 girlfriends. Where is the other one? Yeah, she's walking behind the tree there. Yeah, so this guy has 2 girls, but this guy has only 1 girl. Why? If I put 20 guys in there, like bulls, they're gonna keep fighting till only 1 guy stays alive. So 1 guy in each pen. Since we opened here 31 years ago, we found out with 1 girl, we got 80 eggs. With 2 girls, 160. With 3 girls, 160. With 10 girls, 160. With 20 girls, 160. Yeah? Some people tell me, but that's not true. If you give them more girls, you get more eggs. Why? The guy has a few bullets. You give them 2 girls or 20, they shoot the same amount of bullets. No more, nor less. The same. Yeah? If you see 1 girl, that means 1 of the girl died. That means I can put a new girl in here, but it has to be the sister of the girl, no sister of the guy, to maintain the bloodline strong. We have to prevent inbreeding. First generation inbreeding, you got that the babies get smaller. The small baby eat the same amount of food than the big baby. But after a year, they stop growing, we slaughter them. What happens? We get less meat, less money. And let's be frank, we want more money, not less. Yeah, so we prevent inbreeding. Second generation inbreeding, we got the deformities. So we prevent the first, we don't reach the second one. Yeah? A lot of people keep asking me every day if the ostriches put a hat into the sand, like we see in cartoons, movies or so. They don't do that. They put their ear on the floor. They can hear with the vibration, something is coming. What do? run. Many years ago, people didn't have binoculars, no cameras with zoom. People couldn't see what they were doing, and people walked to see what they were doing. Halfway, they heard your footsteps coming. They stand up, run. People couldn't see, and so starts the rumor. They put a hand into the sand. They don't. They're just listening. Last year in November, the owner got lucky. We bought 30 new babies. They're about 4.5 months old right now, so we don't have babies. The youngest one we got 4.5 months old. Let's go see the young ostriches. If they're younger than, actually the 3 months, we keep them in the white row over there. You see, when they're that young, they get wet, they catch a common cold, they can die. So here we put them under the roof if it rains. At night under the roof. People tell me, but in Africa they don't have roof. The father open his wings and give them the roof and the warmth they need. Yeah, and that's also the reason that 50% of the eggs is not fertile. The father cannot take up 40 babies, but if they lay 40 eggs, they got 20 babies, 20 eggs are not fertile. And the father will break every day one egg that has no baby. The babies drink the egg yolk, egg white, they eat the eggshell. Birds don't give mother milk, so they drink the eggs that are not fertile, and the babies, after 10 days or so, they walk straight. Now they can go with dad and mom to the river to drink water. Here we give them water. Yeah, you just feed them. Look, they're eating over there. So here they get what they need, but in the wild, they have to walk to the river to drink water. With 3 months, the feathers, they start growing. The down will slowly disappear. With 11 months, it changes color. So after 11 months, you can see if they're guys or girls. Here, you don't know yet. Yeah? Normally, after 1 year, they stop growing. We start slaughtering them. But look around back here. We don't have plenty right now. We hope, we calculated in 4 years' time, we get 25, 30 birds in each pen back here. Then we're gonna start slaughtering and sell our own meat again. The meat that we sell right now, it's imported, not from the farm. Yeah? The ostriches, they eat grass, leaves, and fruits. Here we give them pellets containing corn, alfalfa grain. They eat plants, no meat. Yeah, our next stop, we're gonna step down, we're gonna feed them. You guys are gonna see what kind of pellets we feed them, and we take some nice pictures feeding them. So let's go do that.
They're holding the ball. You hold it on your shoulder and then they'll eat. But I can help you hold it, okay? Yeah. So they can eat out of the bowl.
Hold it up, hold it steady.
They know that this is the spot because this is where
Yep. Very dull.
Big escape. Harry, escape's right there. That is a big escape.
No, it's not. Look at his glasses there. It's not a big one.
water. It's supposed to be really cold. We're taking jeeps. So it's me, Ty, and our two friends in one jeep. And a tour guide like drives us to a private island or a private beach.
Of the sugar cane, the brown muscovado sugar that came out of this island. You see the old Hunslet and the Paulines. The Hunslets are the orange locos and the Paulines are the yellow ones. These are the old relics. These locomotives ran down the tracks, this rail system, pulling the sugar cars. We don't have any of the old sugar carts in the yard. can be planted. The workers who worked on the entire industry would have to be retrained and retaught and redirected into other industries. And no more shooter trains would run on this track. The scenic rail is the last train on the track. The last train. Now our journey today is going to take us along 18 miles of rail. 18 miles. And you can see we are running at hours. Little less than 2 hours to travel 18 miles. The original train rail system can take us completely around the island. It will bring us back to our beginning point, point A. But for the purpose of this excursion, we only use 18 miles of the rail, which is a little less than half of the rail system. It became a little easier to maintain just half of the rail system, as well as it allowed us to do as many as 4 of these runs on a daily basis at the height of the tourist industry. We do 4 of these, 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. You guys are the first down run for the afternoon. And luckily for me, there's no return afternoon run today. When the French and British in 1626 would sign what would become the Treaty of Partition, the French and the British would separate the island into 3 portions. The French would occupy the upper and lower portions of the island, and the British would inhabit the middle section of the island. A group of hermit monks, an old plantation estate, hermitage. And this is a farm. They have banana trees and pineapple trees planted here. At that time, our government was run by our then Premier, Dr. Denzel Douglas, and he would make the decision to end the industry.
Don't move your phone,
But the tree canopy has overgrown the entire gut. It's so hard to see down to the bottom of the gut now. Grange is one of our taller bridge crossings. Grange Gut. This is a good shot from back here. So I'm going to begin to weave a little bit of our island's history. This is how we became the West Indies, because he thought he had that we use in masonry here. So they harvest quite a bit of the gut sand. So back to Columbus now. So the Spanish would never really settle here on the island of St. Kitts, but they would see it passing. Columbus would name the island St. George initially, and the name would ultimately be changed to St. Christopher. Now there's a debate as to whether or not it was after the patron saint, St. Christopher, or actually as a homage to Christopher Columbus himself. So depending on whose textbook you read, they'll tell you one or the other. Now Christopher, as we're known as St. Christopher, apparently the nickname for Christopher is Kitts. And this is how we are St. Kitts, because Kitts is the pet name for Christopher. I'm not sure how that comes about, but this is what I've been told. So if anyone's named Christopher, I mean, us Americans, we call Christopher Chris, but for short, right? But apparently it's Kit. So this is where St. Kitts comes from. Now, Nevis, Nieve is a Spanish word that means snow. And this is how Nevis got its name, because Nieve is snow. The Europeans, when they spotted Nevis, Mount Nevis is always covered with clouds. They thought it was like the Swiss Alps in Europe, and it was snow covered. So Nevis became Nieve. Known as Boreal Estate. Now you see all the newer buildings around, the iconic structures, the smokestack, the tall form, and the mill, which is the short one. This mill has a roof deck around it. Boreal is being used as a research facility here on the island. I'm not quite sure what kind of research they're doing. I've been told it has something to do with monkeys, but I don't know for sure. Now in contrast, if you continue looking on the left, as we travel forward, you see on the right side another estate. This one is known as Mills Estate. This one has been left in its original state. Our current administration is encouraging more and more farmers. So many of the old plantations are being used for farms. Monkeys. These are our monkeys. The wind would blow and the blades would turn, and inside of that mill would be large wheels that were used to crush the stalks of sugarcane, extracted the sweet syrup, the sweet juice out of the cane. How many of you are familiar with sugarcane stalks? Anyone? Some of you? Yeah? It's a lot like bamboo, but inside is very fibrous. And when you squeeze the fibrous inside, you get a sweet syrup that we suck out of it. Sugarcane juice is actually a really great source of sugar. It's a natural sugar.
Inches of the volume.
converge. And this is the best place to see it, all from the distance. So in a few minutes, we're going to be in a village known as Dieppe Bay. It is our northernmost village. It's also the former French capital city. Dieppe was the capital for the French colony here on the island.
If you want over here that you can't catch us, let us know. I've gotten something off stuff for you.
Dieppe was named by a group of, if you look at the patterns of the waves, you can see the ocean. The Atlantic is on the right, and there's also a huge reef that surrounds this northernmost point that allows you to walk pretty far over into the water, pretty far out. In Dieppe, there's a wonderful restaurant for anyone who might want to venture through the island called Arthur's that sits right on the water. You see the fishermen's boats coming in. It is a true sea to table. Now as we go down to the next curve, if anyone's interested in sugarcane more up close, if you look to the right of us in this little patch of palm trees, where all these palm trees are, the taller grass that's in between these palm trees on the right is all sugarcane. There are a few tufts of tall grass. And if you look closely, you see the sugarcane stalks, the brown stalks. Look close to the bottom, and you'll see the sugarcane stalks. Now, sugarcane can grow as much as 15 feet or more. And if you cut the stalks, cut off the top grasses, and it's the stalk that you would squeeze, much like bamboo. It has the segmented pieces. And you can plant a small section of sugarcane and get an entire sugarcane stalk. Initiated, and it was designed and put under our Citizenship by Investment program. We have an initiative here on the island with bananas. We've seen a lot of banana trees, and so they allow them to farm a lot of this land because we have nothing but land. We have nothing but land, you know. So yeah, so we're going to see a lot of farms as we go through clearings. And you see some burnt out areas as we've gone, and that's the fast way that they clear the land, that's overgrown. They just do a controlled fire.
They could like make an announcement over the boat.
Yeah. I don't know how they control it either, because we've come through sometimes where the fire is just jumping across.
Majo, levántate, ven, vamos. Vamos, que allá abajo hay más cosas chéveres.